doesn't look like much today. It's just a ruined, abandoned tunnel, goes back just a few feet inside this tunnel. But for decades, this was one of the most productive anthracite mining operation in Pennsylvania. This is the Williamstown Tunnel behind me. And, when I was a kid growing up here, my imagination ran wild with what this must have looked like when it was in full operation. The mine here opens up in the 1860s, and you can just imagine for many decades, this mine, this tunnel is going to be the scene of thousands of men going to work inside the extensive operations here at the Williamstown Colliery from the 1860s right up to its closure in 1942. And I'm immediately drawn to one particular event that took place here at the tunnel mouth. Is a scene of intense drama in 1904, May 25th, 1904, when the deadliest mine disaster in Dauphin County history is going to take place inside this tunnel. It's about 4,000 feet long, extends out to Bear Valley on the other side of the mountain, of Big Lick Mountain. And on that day, an intensely hot and humid day on the outside, inside, a nice cool temperature inside, but it meant that the humidity outside created kind of an air inversion. And so all of the fan systems that operated to keep the mine ventilated did not work that day. And so as a trip full of basically a train of workers coming out at the end of their shift on the 25th of May, as they're leaving the mine, the locomotive fills the tunnel with toxic fumes, and dozens of men fall at the side of the locomotive, in the locomotive, on the train cars that are pulling them through at the end of their shift. And very quickly, they realize there's a problem. There's a rescue party that goes in that also falls ill. Ultimately, there are 10 men that die as a result of this, suffocate inside Williamstown Tunnel here. And where I'm standing now would have been a very dramatic scene as word spreads, sirens go off, the whistle blows, and that there was a disaster at the mine. And so this would have been a scene as I turn around here. The rest of the mine operations out here, Williamstown is behind me. The residents of Williamstown would have come up here, been waiting at the tunnel mouth for word of what happened to their loved one. A very common scene in the coal region of Pennsylvania. But that's what I think of when I come up here. I think of these stories, these little bits and pieces that you can, by going through the records, you can kind of get a sense of what life was like at the time. And I get these moments where it kind of flashes through my mind of what it must have been like to be here. And the fact that we have some of these remnants left behind, it helps us to visualize those stories and kind of stand in the footsteps of all of those thousands of employees that came in and out of this tunnel. What were they thinking when they were going to work? Whether it's in the 1860s as the Civil War is just ending, or in the 1930s when it becomes very clear that this mine is going to be likely to close as a result of the Great Depression. So these are the stories I think about when I come out here. So if you're enjoying these videos, definitely subscribe for more. You can head over to winninghistory.com as well for more stories about Williamstown Tunnel and many other stories from Pennsylvania's coal region. Thank you, guys.